All right, guys. Welcome to the first recording of the podcast, guys. So, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna be talking about things that we can do over the holidays because we've got a lot of time for holidays, and I think it would be, I think it would be a good idea if like we used it effectively because we're gonna be talking about what are some good things we can do over the holidays and like what we can spend our time doing because if you don't spend your time properly, especially in like the upper years in year five and year six, you're gonna end up sleeping on a lot of your assignments and that's not gonna be very good for your schooling in general. I
All
was on
right,
back.
Kaden, you're our first guest on this podcast. So share a little about yourself.
So my name is Caden Quinn. I'm currently in year five, hoping to go to year six. Um, I am doing
Well,
film at a higher level, Langlet at a higher level, and anthropology at a higher level. I'm doing SL Chem, SL MAI, and SL Spanish Ab initio, but I have no clue how to speak any Spanish. I'm an athlete. I'm a boxer. And I like
wild.
making films. So recently, actually, Sean and I made a film for my Blink project. So it was like a school-based project
Oh dear.
about boxing, and Sean was the main actor in it, and
Oh,
he did a great job. I think that unfortunately, due to the time constraints and the different views, because it was my first time working in a group, I wrote the script, but I wasn't the director. I think that there were some things that could have been done better, but the first thing I'm doing during the holidays is I'm making a final cut for the screening, which is on 19th October.
Oh,
oh,
So,
so
Crazy.
are you
so this
dropping it
so
on
this
like,
this will be an extended cut.
oh, I
wow,
see.
that's mad.
Are you gonna release
Okay,
it to
it'll
the
be like
public?
another 2 minutes longer.
KK.
No, it'll be I think you can get tickets from the school. I'm not going for the Blink screening. Um but I think you can get tickets or like also the students are welcome or something like that. If I'm being honest, I don't
Oh,
know much
are
about
there
the
like,
Plug,
details.
plug this to everybody that's gonna be listening to the pod right now.
so, wait,
No. Wait,
Let
you want
them
um,
know.
to no, no, I want to plug something else. I want to plug something else.
Kaden, no,
Okay,
I'm
don't
okay.
plug.
We'll
making an
save that for the
original
end then.
film. I'm making an original film with my friend Simran, and this film will be longer. And the fact that we have a bit more creative liberty and freedom because it's not because we have a bit more time with it, and it's our own
Mm-hmm.
original storyline. And Simran and I get along very well, so we'll be filming very soon. It'll be really really fun and entertaining. We will be releasing it, and we will be having like a screening release where we'll invite some people.
Oh, okay. It sounds interesting.
That's sick.
It's like
Sounds
a cool
interesting.
holiday project, which brings us back to the
Wow,
point
that
of
brings
like
us to
the point of like
holiday activities.
yeah, holiday activities. Let's
Holiday
go.
So as we
activities.
know, it's currently the 11th of October. Marking days are next week, and so is Blue Week. So
No.
the holidays are nearing. So what do you think are some good activities for listeners
What
and
would
our
you be
students?
doing? What will you be doing over the holidays?
And yeah,
I'm
also it's more productive to get more stuff done. And I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it's better to be productive than to not be productive because like I'm bored when I'm not productive.
exactly, and like I kind of don't want to spend every day just cooped up in my room playing video games because that's what I've been doing for like the past for the past 2 years, and it's gotten to a point where it's like it gets really boring and
It's just like
um
the same thing, right?
yeah, yeah, and like health wise, it isn't very healthy either because like you don't get any sunlight or like even though fresh air isn't like scientifically proven to have any benefits or anything, it kind of does help like being in a well ventilated place.
I mean, I personally would just go touch grass, man. Like, I mean, being outside doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're like exercising. For the holidays, I mean, traveling is one aspect of it, right? But you could like also just like chill out or like things like
Yeah,
that. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Like, I would prefer to just be in like a sedentary state. Maybe just because I'm a fit person. Like, I personally just like I don't like having a lot of adrenaline when it comes to like spending my time. I like to take things slow. Just,
yeah, I
just
think
like
yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but like I think what like you brought up going on holidays
right.
is actually like something that I really look forward to over our school breaks because like going overseas, it's a really good experience, and it lets you learn about other cultures as well. Like you can experience the culture.
I mean, that's fair, I guess. But I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't have the stomach for traveling. Like, I feel pretty comfortable. I mean, maybe it's just my close-mindedness, but I feel more comfortable being in an like area where I can just be familiar with the place. Like, if I'm in like if I'm not traveling and I'm in Singapore, I would
Hmm.
prefer to stay in Singapore because I just know the general area. And since it's like somewhere where I've been in my whole life, I mean, everything's really accessible to me. Like, I could literally just go to the beach if I wanted to now because I know where it is. And if I'm like, stressed about something or like something isn't going my way, I can just go downstairs because I mean, Singapore is a relatively
Yeah,
safe
that's
in the
true.
sense that like yeah, you can pretty much go wherever you want and the risk of like having someone like rob you or something is relatively low. So I mean, if
Risk
I
of
wanted like
being risk of
right,
being shook.
right, right,
Yeah, but like
right.
Singapore, it's like a relatively safer place compared to maybe like the US or even Korea. Because like on the news, I've been seeing more and more articles about like residents in Korea attacking tourists that are like on their phones. They're actually really scary because like
Or even Malaysia for that in that sense, like even Malaysia isn't as safe as Singapore in a sense that like traveling at night is putting yourself at risk, or even in general, most countries that like traveling at night is seen as like something that is dangerous in a sense that you can't just do whatever you want. I could go on a, like a 2 hour, I could go on a 2 hour walk, and I wouldn't be as high of a risk as if I was walking 2 hours in America or in Malaysia.
yeah, that's a
I don't
good
know.
point. But like who in their right mind would go out and walk 2 hours in the first place? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, fair, fair. I mean, but like, I'm just trying to like put an example out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So like since we're on like the topic of like going overseas, are you guys going anywhere? Like Sean, Caden, and
Yeah, I'm
I
going
Arjun?
might.
places.
Yeah, I am.
Right.
So wait, yeah,
Yeah.
Sean, tell us where you're going, mate. I think that's a really interesting story.
I mean, I think that's share with
Uh,
us.
okay, so I'll be going overseas around the end of November for a competition. I think it's really
For
nice.
what, Sean?
A
What
racing
Like
competition?
what type
competition.
of competition?
What?
Because
That
not
is
everybody knows.
insane. That's crazy.
It's a motor racing competition in South Africa. Crazy.
Oh,
What? That is wild.
oh,
Yep.
that's actually
Wow,
cool.
that's
That's
crazy, man.
I think it's a good thing that people should take up new hobbies or things to do during the holidays so as
Like
to
that's
not
also
waste
another.
so much
That's
of
a
their
whole
time.
other point. I
yeah.
agree.
So sports and competitions are a good way to keep active and moving around.
Yeah.
In me
So like
personally, over the holidays, I'm mostly planning to work on my art form. I mean, I'm planning on honing my skills in observational drawings. I mean, I find that I want to improve on my skills so that it could help me in school. Because I feel that at the end of the day, holidays is very ambiguous to the fact that it's whole year has led up to the examination. And after the examinations, you're pretty much left with a lot of free time to do whatever you want. At the end of the day, you can even try to study for the next year, which I feel would be productive in a way, but I feel it's also a waste of your time because you wouldn't be enjoying your holidays. And I've seen people that do that.
yeah, I think a lot of people do spend time over the holidays doing their assignments, but like it's closer towards the end. Oh yeah, Sean. You were talking
Yeah.
about like how you're going overseas to like to take part in like a racing competition, right?
Yep.
Yeah. How did you get invited to go overseas? Was it like a family connections thing or like something else?
Oh no, I just wrote in.
Oh, oh, that's actually really
I
I
mean,
cool.
wrote in
Sean's
to.
Sean's been competing for a while, guys. I mean, Sean's like he's good.
He's crazy. He's crazy good.
Yeah.
He's the goat at
Yeah,
his
I've been
craft.
I've been racing since I was 7 years old. So
Which is
I
wild.
wrote into an international team if they had an extra spot, so I could go in for my first round, make a debut, and hopefully get my license for it.
Oh,
And they were willing
So is
to
this your?
make some arrangements.
Crazy stuff.
But Sean, you've competed in what? You've competed in Singapore and Malaysia, right?
Singapore, Malaysia,
Or am I
Australia,
tripping?
England, Germany, and
oh,
Italy.
England,
Now
Germany.
South Africa.
Really? I didn't know you.
Wait, Sean, I want to ask if you're like interested in dropping your art form
Oh
to
hell
pursue
no.
this career. And, like,
No.
it's
I
The way
just
I
like a
see
guess
it
hobby
now,
for you.
Sean has
the way I
this
see it now, I will now see this somewhat as a side gig
Like gig,
future.
so like Kimi Raikkonen type beat,
Yeah.
I mean, Sean and I were
Right
talking
now
about
my
this the other
focus
day,
is on
but we were
right now
saying
my focus is on pursuing my art form, which I think is
an
it's the
IBCP, right? You got your IBCP audition tomorrow,
respect that. I respect that.
on
I
Friday.
respect that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Friday. Sorry,
oh
my bad.
oh Sean, you're doing
When are you
IBCP?
going to go watch? Are you? When are you gonna go watch Godot, or I don't know how to pronounce it, guys.
Dough. I've been seeing the
On the
poster.
region.
So like I've been like working on my household things, cooking, um cleaning. Like I cleaned most of my house today, just like taking a bag, getting a bucket, filling it with water, and just like going around cleaning above the door frames and everything.
It's
It's quite
crazy.
entertaining. Yeah, but like it's really time
Yeah, I know
consuming.
some people that do that for fun, like to de-stress. Like I have a teacher that does that. Shout out to Mr. Asmadi. He cleans when he's stressed. Like, see, I think it's pretty chill. Like, I would not find the enjoyment in doing that. I'd rather just sit on a in like a field and like just chill out. I mean, that would be
No,
my.
but like isn't cleaning so satisfying? Like you could just be there
Definitely.
and like
I
I
mean,
mean,
removing
I
yeah,
also
dust.
like
but like
cleaning.
I wouldn't
I'm
want to
not.
be cleaning to de-stress because I find that because I have like a really sensitive nose, so the dust kind of
True.
gets to me.
Okay,
Like
so
I
like
mean, my sinus is really
mhm.
bad, so
That sounds terrible. I mean,
it is. There's workarounds to it. Like I can bring an inhaler. I'm not gonna be carrying an inhaler when I have to carry like a bucket and stuff.
okay, so another thing I've been doing besides like cleaning, which I've done today, I've actually been working on like my cooking skills because I think cooking is a very fun activity because
It's
you
insane that you
start.
brought it up because I've also been trying to learn how to cook too. This is insane.
Oh, really? You can tell
Coincidence
us
is
about it.
real.
All right, do you wanna tell us about it? Like, oh,
Okay,
and
okay.
do you have like
Okay,
pictures?
I'll,
You
I'll
can
say
send it to
something
me.
and then alright,
Oh, yeah,
then well like I'll pass it back to you. Okay, so I mean
yeah.
yesterday, okay, so my mom has decided to let me and my sister who are because we're both in secondary school already and we're both about to graduate. So essentially speaking, she's trying to teach us how to budget meals for a week. So right now I'm budgeting an entire like family dinner. So I'm handling family dinners this whole week. So
Oh,
on Monday, I made for dinner. I made a almond carbonara pasta, which was like I don't know. My family said it
ooh,
was like I got like a 87% on the score. That so that was
87.
my Monday dinner, and I had a side of sweet potato fries. It's like a normal tomato sauce, which was like
Ooh, could you
bad,
like
but
tell us about how you made the like the process of making the carbonara and the fries? I think that's pretty interesting.
I mean, the carbonara and that was pretty simple. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna make it sound simple, but it's actually like really long. But basically, like I already had the ingredients, and it's my mom wanted to use up all the ingredients in the pantry already, so I just got creative with it. And I knew there was pasta, and I also knew there was a bit of carbonara sauce in the fridge, so I wanted to use that up as well. Then I bought okay, so the thing about salmon, right? Salmon has is really
Salmon.
expensive. Okay, right.
Salmon, yeah.
Sa-
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean.
Grammar
Appreciate it.
classes.
Yeah. So the salmon, right,
It's
is
not even
actually
grammar,
really.
dude.
What?
Wait, how am I supposed to pronounce it? Is it with the L or without the L?
No,
I'm
without it.
so
The
L is
L is
confused.
silent.
silent. It's like
It's
pterodactyl.
salmon. It's just salmon.
Yeah, yeah, salmon.
Right. So okay. So when I was buying the salmon, right,
Yeah,
there
when
are
you're
like
buying it.
three
Sorry.
cuts that you can get. Right. There's yeah when you're buying it. There's the fillet for the tail and there's the fillet that's nearer to the head.
Hmm.
What you want to get actually is the juiciest part and it's the juiciest one that you can get. So I was like scouring the market for that, and it took me about like 2 hours until I found this guy who like just brought out like fresh catch, and I bought it immediately. But that was like so expensive, dude. It was $30,
Oh,
and
couldn't
with
you
that
like?
kind of cut,
I think.
I did bargain. I brought it down from a 50 to a 30.
Oh, you went
Right?
to the fish
I
market?
couldn't go lower than that because it's like a fresh cut anyway. So I just cut my losses and then I just went back and did.
Did
I
you?
did like a marinade with like the teriyaki sauce. It's pretty standard. I think you're
Hmm.
pretty familiar with the marinade, but it's
Yeah.
just like soy sauce and yeah, soy sauce and honey, and then that's it.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I just fried it and served it with the noodles. I mean, the noodles are also pretty standard,
yeah.
just boiling in it,
I'm
putting the sauce.
surprised.
I mean, what did you make? I mean, I'm more interested to
Oh,
hear what you made.
What do I make?
Or yeah,
Usually it's just
you
breakfast
make
things.
lunches.
No,
Right, right,
usually
right.
breakfast and lunch. Yeah, I did used to cook dinner, but like my brothers have to eat early, so usually they leave it to my mother
Yeah.
because my mother is really good at like she's a really good cook and like I look up to her a lot. Um, yeah, but like usually I do breakfast because I'm the only one at home. So I make like a sandwich with whatever's in the fridge. Usually it's like a leftover chicken breast from the night before, or like some other
Right.
form of leftovers. Yeah, and then like um I've been trying different ways to like experiment with the meat because it's like a chunk of meat and I wanna so the other time I made a sandwich for breakfast, I did like a chicken mayo sandwich with relish and pickles. That was pretty simple, but this time I tried to do seared chicken with peppery sauce, which
Oh my
actually
god,
turned
that
out
really
pretty
sounds
nice.
really great.
Yeah.
Sounds so good right now.
Um, yeah, but I think my cooking skills still have a have a way to go. Because like
Right.
I think it still has room to improve because what I've been doing is really bread based and like bread dependent. I think I want to move away from like the dependency on the carbohydrates and like
Carbohydrates, right?
yeah and like work on doing things that involve a different type of carbohydrate or like um or more like vegetable based. I think that'll be interesting. Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool,
Uh,
right?
Speaking of like things over the holidays, I actually went thrifting yesterday, and like
Yeah, I
With
saw that. Saw
stuff.
you got like some hoodies, man. I was
yeah
stoked. That looks sick.
Riley's very
yeah
slow. No, I'm kidding. No, it was nice. It was fun.
yeah it was fun yeah. Yo, Kaden, you can tell them about the thrifting experience.
Just went
Oh, I've
together.
been. Yeah, we
Ah
went
yeah
together.
Wow, that's
It was. What was I gonna say? Unfortunately, a lot of the places were closed because it was a Tuesday. I didn't know that. I don't
okay.
usually go shopping. I've been shopping maybe once before that for clothes by myself. I mean, it was with my sister. She took me
Right.
thrifting maybe like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I think it's also like I got pants that I like for a good price and they fit me, and it's difficult to find pants that fit me
yeah
because they're either too tight. Because the difficult thing is because I have long legs but like a skinny waist, which is
I
the
got the
difficult thing.
opposite problem, man. Got short legs with a really wide waist, man. It's hard for people.
if you're like a shorter person, you would find it easier to buy clothes because you can like tailor your things. You can bring it to like a tailor and like they'll help you adjust like the measurements accordingly.
But like I personally get tailors if I'm getting like a set of clothes. Like if I like for my for s- okay, I'll know the school long pants is like the school long pants, right?
Yeah.
Long pants that they
Yeah.
have in school for the guys. That has not been able to fit me since year two, and so I have to always get the same pants tailored. What I've just
Oh.
learned is that there's this one tailor that hooks me up at Marine Parade. Shout out to anyone who lives in Marine Parade, but this is one tailor that I go to all the time, and he hooks me up with like tailored pants that are like the exact same. They're more versatile than the actual school pants. Like he makes like deep pockets, like a actual working belt buckle that like doesn't snap if your belt is too big. Like I personally just only trust certain people with my clothes. That's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
I think like if you find a service that works, you should use it often.
Do it,
Cause
yeah.
yeah, Sean, do you have any like clothes related things? Maybe like your oh yeah, you check your race suits. Where do you get those from? Like I think they're really
Oh,
cool. Yeah, where do you get them
um,
from?
I get them from this British website which sells exclusive racing gear. It just sells racing gear.
Oh
So every once in a while, if I can't fit into my suits, I'll sell my old one and use whatever money I have from the sale to go and get a new one.
oh,
It's just a rinse and repeat thing.
Insane.
are the prices affordable?
Oh, of course not.
We all got our like
Race suits are
guilty
pretty
pleasure.
expensive
Hmm?
because the you could buy a simple one for recreational use, but the ones that we are forced to buy for competitions are made to a completely high standard. So they must be fireproof and abrasion resistant,
Oh,
alongside a lot of other things.
to like protect
So
the
a
driver.
basic competition grade suit could set you back $500.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really expensive, but
But I
like,
mean, it's all for safety.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all for safety, so it is a good, a decent investment.
Would you
Um,
say that it's like a guilty pleasure of yours to like a gear for racing? Is racing itself more of a guilty pleasure?
I wouldn't feel guilty
Why would
about
it
it.
be a
I
guilty
feel very
pleasure
happy to
though?
race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel very happy about it. I don't feel guilty at all.
hmm.
But the only guilt I feel is making my parents have a heart attack every week in and week out.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all part of the job, you know.
So Sean has his racing thing. Kaden, you have your boxing. I remember just now you mentioned like the boxing camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys do like in the boxing camp?
Oh, so
Cause.
what I literally just did earlier today is I just created like a presentation for my
Mhm.
dad, who is kind enough to support me. So at the moment there are no, sorry, there are four different things I'll be doing differently. There are like four aspects. So
Oh.
we'll be doing the strength and conditioning, which
Mhm.
is a program that will be done by my dad. I'm fortunate enough to have a dad who's very fit, and he's an athlete, and we are fortunate enough to have our own gym at home. So be working on improving my strength and just like my functional strength, because I'm already a relatively strong guy, but there are some things like my legs are weak. That's why you see me with the skinny legs. That's why I don't like wearing shorts.
Mhm.
'Cause I get made fun of all the time for my calves.
Nah, I think your calves are pretty.
Then
I think they're fine. Yeah.
I think they're okay too. It's just that I remember one time, this girl in my film class, she's making fun of my calves. Oh yeah,
Um.
I train twice a day, 6 days a week.
Yes. Like I don't think it'd be a stretch to say that you're above average in
Thank
terms of
you.
fitness.
Thank you. Yes, and then I will be. So I'm going to two gyms now, as in two boxing gyms.
Mhm.
One of which is to get more sparring, like more exposure to different types of fighters. So I'll be going there about 4 to 5 times a week, and then I'll be having personal training and team trainings with my actual gym, for the boxing club, and that'll be fun. But I think above all else, the main thing I gotta work on is the mental game, because like
Yeah, I think the
the mental aspect
mentality.
of boxing, the studies. Sorry.
I think the mentality is like a key part of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, okay, for me personally, my biggest downfall in a lot of things, like my studies and boxing and friendships in general, has just been it's always been my downfall has always been my mental game. Like I always get a bit nervous or scared, or I let my emotions get the better of me, and it's just something I got to work on. So I'm working on staying calm because for example, like when I box, I'm more calm when sorry, I'm a better boxer when I'm calm, not when I'm angry. When I'm angry, I just rely on my punching power. But like
A bit out.
when
Yeah.
I'm calm, I'm a great boxer.
Mm.
Um, and then like just staying happy, I guess, like working out and the endorphins from working out. That's why I like boxing and just exercising. Just it improves your mood big time, which is why I think exercising and catching up on exercise, especially during the holidays, it's really beneficial.
Yeah. Speaking of exercise, I've actually been like resuming like going to the gym because I stopped during term four for like studying and everything because my grades were a bit lacking, I think. But yeah, now that the holidays have started, uh, I can spend more time doing exercises and like gymming in general. And like the free time also helps because I feel that after you exercise, sometimes if you take it a bit too far, it's kind of draining. So you need that time to like recover. And school doesn't give a lot of recovery time in terms of sleep uh because school starts at 7 and like you gotta wake up earlier to do all your to get ready for the day.
I mean, I think that to get good sleep like during the school year, you kind of just gotta like plan your time well. You know,
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
like for example, if you get like an assignment, do it as soon as possible instead of leaving it to the last minute. And then like just getting your work done during the day and maybe spending a little bit less time watching TV or whatever you do like playing video games.
Yeah, I think
And for me personally, sorry,
hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I cut you off.
That's right.
For
You
me
can say
personally, in year three, I've retained. but like I got up on an appeal.
Right now, the whole instance that retaining exists is to give students who are a little bit weaker a chance to recuperate their strength and like adapt to the mistakes that happen. Like for me, I feel that like in when I retained, I grew in terms of like learning how to study better and manage my time. Because without that, I would have been doing the same thing that I was doing in year three, and I wouldn't have learned anything
Hmm.
regardless. I don't
Yeah,
see retaining as a bad thing. I think
yeah. Retaining is a bit
I mean
like it helps get the
it's
basics
a
down before you promote.
right.
Yeah, because if
Yeah,
you promote it
it
without,
sets you up so that you are able to cope with the new year better because you are not going the whole point of and the thing is that if you are actually ready and it was just a fluke or a mistake, you can always appeal. Like it's not out of the question. I just didn't want to appeal because I knew that I wasn't going to be accepted. Because personally,
yeah,
the whole year I was wasting my time playing games. You know what I mean? Like it was not a
yeah,
productive year at all, right?
mm,
Yeah. I
yeah.
think you guys know me the best to like, I think Riley knows the best. I mean, most of the time in art form we were playing, we were playing Pokemon. Like
Yeah,
you know,
but like,
yeah. I mean, shout
yeah,
out to
but
Mr. Riff, bro. He was so patient with us.
Mr. F was like the most patient teacher ever.
Probably the
Shout
most patient. Yeah.
out to Mr. F. He's
Shout out to
goated.
Mr. Riff, man. If any of you have Mr. Riff as a VA teacher right now, you better count your blessings. Y'all better
That
buy
you
him a
got.
Teacher's Day gift. Y'all better start planning your Teacher's Day gifts right now. Best believe
Well,
I am.
okay,
Hey,
like
and that brings us to our sponsor. If any
Raid
had a
Shadow
sponsor, that would be
Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Okay,
Oh my god.
yeah, but like over the holidays, like I actually wanted to take part in those casters that send you a bunch of emails doing like activities over the holidays. There was one where it was helping in a soup kitchen, and I thought that would have been a really good experience for building up the cast portfolio as well as getting experience in general. Because it's not every day that you get to do community service, especially since a lot of people don't really go out of their way to do community services these days. Me personally, I feel that community services, like I used to have the mentality that community services were to be done by like people with more free time than me. When I actually did have a lot of free time, it's just that I didn't realize that I
We
had
didn't
free
know how to
time.
spend it properly.
Yeah, I was spending that time just lazing around and not giving back to society in like any shape or form.
I mean, me
Yeah.
personally, I have my parents to thank for that because they made me realize that I actually have more than enough time to do a lot of things, which is why I try to help my mosque. Like, there's one of the mosques that I go to, try to help out with every once in a while.
Hmm.
Um, try to go to events or whatever just to volunteer and help out. I mean, it at the end of the day, you really just it all comes down to like what Riley and Kaden said earlier about time management. It really is time management. I think I have that retain year to like be thankful for that because I feel that during that time it really helped to develop mentality and that maturity to just like it's just like a concept. You just have it's something that you learn. It's not something that just comes by magically. You have to like develop the skill. you
Yeah,
know
I think you have to like realize that you're wasting time in order to learn how to deal with that waste of
exactly.
time. Yeah, but like soup kitchens, like um I don't know, it's just something about them. I really like the idea of a soup kitchen.
Oh my god, yeah, same.
Yeah, and I don't think enough people in Singapore realize that like we do have a population of people that rely on are dependent on community services for some of their
Right, yeah.
needs. Like I watched this
Mhm.
documentary a while back on like the homeless population in Singapore and the efforts of the government to like give them housing. And yeah, it was really informative.
I mean, in every like in every like case, I think community service is just a really good way to like immerse yourself into the community. I think that's why also like SOTA tries to like get students to recognize this, which is why I feel that like making it compulsory in year three and the year 4 years kind of defeats the purpose because students don't see it as a like way to help. They just see it as like an extra subject that they need to like tough through throughout the day.
Yeah, I
I feel
think
that it should have. What
I
were
was
you gonna
gonna,
say? I mean, I was just gonna say that like it left as an option, but then I mean I see why it needs to be compulsory to do, because if it was an option, then no one would go. But if it wasn't an option, then no one would, participate
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. And I think that's like both sides of the coin, lah. You can't have a totally perfect outcome for it, and I think that's the harsh reality of it, lah. Like, can't have everything, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. That's just my take on it.
But like I think what Sota does with like trying to give the students more outside experience is really good, but it might need some further development in terms of like getting the students to be engaged. Because when I did SAC, I wasn't like into it, like I didn't have I
Right?
wasn't
Yeah, I think I
I
could
didn't
tell. Like during our first year, yeah,
yeah, like I didn't have the
we were so out
intent
of it, man.
like
Right?
because it
Yeah,
was
we
at the
we just
end
saw it
of
as a
the
bit like
day
yeah,
and like
and
it was
so
on
late at that
Fridays.
point. Yeah,
So I
it
don't
was on
think a lot of
Fridays and it was the last day of the
yeah.
week. Yeah,
And like
nobody. No, I think the people who were carrying our SAC were
were
mostly Asher and
were the
and Alvin.
people in charge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who
I
were
think
were the people in charge.
and like those people in charge they had the intent to like help and I think that's
They had
like
like
really
the drive to do it, the
yeah
determination,
and that's
drive
really
and determination.
commendable
Right? Yeah, I
because
agree.
I didn't spend that much time in SAC like actively participating. I think most of my time was spent just just stoning in class and that's
For
something that
real, man.
I really do regret because um the experience like from what I saw like at the end it was actually a lot of the the leaders or like the people in charge they actually did a lot and like communicated a lot with the foundations that we were working with and I think that's actually really it's very
Commendable of
insightful.
them.
Yeah, very commendable. Yeah. Yeah, but like other than that, are you going anywhere
I don't think
overseas this holiday? Like,
I mean my family is planning to go to Japan. I'm not really stoked about it because like I said before, I'm not a big like traveling guy. I prefer to be like on my own, like enjoying life as it comes. I think that's like a very like selfish thing to say also, but 'cause I'm surrounded by 5 people in my life. Like my family is quite big in
mm-hmm.
comparison to most other standard Singaporean families. And then the flip side of that, I can rarely like time to myself because I'm always surrounded by 1 or 2 people every minute of the day, which is why school is also like another part of me to like away from that in a sense that like I'm away from that side of. Which is why also I
Yeah.
feel that like also shape the way that I enjoy my time because I usually enjoy my time either with my friends or alone. And
Mm.
I cherish the time that I have alone. Like before the podcast even started, I was on my own, kind of just like sitting down and
Just
zoning out,
chilling.
just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I,
think
I, I don't know. Like I know that some people who I think it's also that's the way you're raised. Like I have friends who really like to travel. At the end of the day, they're raised by different people. So like their families are relatively small. So the time that they spend with their family is cherished by them. So it's I don't know. It's kind of like a just like a upbringing kind of thing. It's a nature nurture kind of thing.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
yeah.
that I think we can wrap up today. I mean, today we discussed a lot of things, mostly what we're going to do with the holidays, how most of us would spend it, and I think with our guest Caden here, he's been sharing that he wants to
He's
do some
been he's
boxing
been
over the holidays.
MIA. He's been
Yeah,
MIA for the past 15 minutes.
yeah. I mean, it's fine. In general, this podcast is just meant to have a way for you guys to reach out to us. If y'all want to hit us up, we'll be making an Instagram as well. We are right. We're gonna make like an
Yeah, we'll
Instagram.
make an Instagram and
We'll
like we'll
make
have
a few socials,
we'll
yeah, so that y'all can like contact us if y'all have like anything that you want us to talk about or
and like
anything
if
that
you
y'all
want to
want to
reach
share.
out to us to like
Right, yeah, if you want to reach out to
guest
us,
to start as a guest,
be
I
listing
think
some of our socials in the description of the podcast when we on Spotify, right? We're putting it on Spotify.
Spotify hopefully, but if it doesn't work out,
Right.
maybe YouTube.